You are listening to the Cattle Call Podcast. This is the place where computer-aided design and drafting meets humor and practicality, with a touch of business acumen thrown in for fun. Jim and Rocco, the owners of Zentech Consultants, the premier U.S. technology consulting firm for architecture, engineering, construction, and manufacturing, discuss the fascinating world of CAD with some humor and some honesty. The Cattle Call Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cattle Call Podcast with Jim and Rocco from Zentech Consultants. I am the charming and witty Jim as your host, and with me, as always, is my partner,
Rocco.
The less charming and witty. Someday, sir, you're going to surprise me with a real full-blown intro for yourself instead of just, I'm Rocco.
Yeah, I'll rehearse it.
There you go. Rehearse. Stand in front of the mirror, talk to yourself for a while. It'll work.
I'll give you a 10-minute spiel about how wonderful I am.
There you go. Why not? I do it every day.
Better yet, I'll bring my wife on to do that.
Oh, no. I don't want to hear about it. I've heard what she has to say about you, and that's not family friendly. I don't think we can do that. Oh, goodness. All right, so our topic today is project dashboards and whether or not they are a good fit for you. So, look, it seems that no matter what software you open nowadays, you're presented with the option for a dashboard, right? You're in Office 365, they have 100 different dashboards. Your CRM or your ERP system, all dashboards. Every cloud-based system out there, dashboards. Right? Google products, Microsoft, Adobe, it doesn't matter what system you're working in. They all offer you these custom dashboards to help you navigate through your data and track changes and organize your information. And the area where the dashboard is just really beginning, I think, to come to light is in the construction industry. Now, and I have to say, I think it's way overdue. I mean, there is just no industry on the planet that is as information intensive or as file dependent as the design and construction world. Construction folks handle documents and drawings at almost 5 times the rate of any other industry. And that is just a crazy amount of data to access and try and control in a reasonable way. Now, look, there are plenty of big project management tools out there that have these built-in dashboards right out of the box. And they do some absolutely amazing things, right? Systems like Procore and Viewpoint are really good examples. You can build and you can distribute your own dashboards internally to your company that show everybody, financial charts and expenditures and completed versus outstanding work and so on, right? Without you having to do a ton of development or invest a lot of time on your own. And I think that's amazing. So, Rocco, we're certified Procore partners now, right? And we used to work with Viewpoint. What's the level of importance, or at least the level of interest, I guess, that you see from clients on using these built-in dashboard features to track schedules and financial info, et cetera, on the construction jobs?
I think you kind of answered the question when you were talking about the level of data that these folks have to work with, right? I mean, so it's definitely important. I mean, it brings a much higher level of ease and just being able to work through all that data. How else do you sift through it? I mean, there's just no other logical way at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is, right? You can do what we've always done, but I absolutely agree with you. It's a smarter way to work. So, I mean, yeah, in general, I think it's a great lead-in, right? I'm a big fan of the dashboard concept. I think that in general, right, people work best with easy visual interfaces. It's a huge benefit to just be able to see all of your data sorted and filtered into, understandable categories, that you're representing, whether it's on a chart or on a graph. The ability to see those updates happen in real time, right? Being pulled from the back-end data without the users having to do anything other than watch. That's an absolutely brilliant concept, right? You're getting into levels of business intelligence or, what you call BI all the time. That's the basis for these dashboards, and the back-end setup, right? That can be time-consuming, and it requires some solid effort to get it set up properly. But the end users, right, the day-to-day users, the consumers of this data, for them, it just magically appears when they log into the system. There's an investment needed to get it all up and running the way you want, but I believe that the ROI on that is well worth the effort. Like Rocco was saying, right? I remember the days of sorting through hundreds and hundreds of documents and spending, days, if not weeks, collecting all the data into spreadsheets, right? So I could see what are my current costs and what are my scheduling issues on a project. And that took a lot of time and a lot of effort. And today it's all just there at my fingerprints or fingerprints. The cops are going to show up for my fingerprints, Rocco. I'm in trouble again. Fingertips. I'll try that. With all of these advanced project management systems, this is a lot easier. So Rocco, let's use Procore here for an example. How many folks that you talk to are interested in having us build that back end for their financial and scheduling dashboards for their company? Is it a minor concern for them, or do you see that as a rapidly growing, business venue for us?
No, it definitely is an area of interest. I mean, Procore is hugely complex, right? So a lot of folks are just looking for ways to simplify it and make it easier to use. And I think when you add the mobile factor to it, that's huge as well, right? I mean, how easily accessible are these dashboards? Throwing a question back to you on mobile phones.
Yeah, that's immensely important. I see a lot of the folks that we deal with on the Procore side. It's about making sure that their people in the field can not only read but interact with that information, right? So they can just plug in using the cell phone whatever base data changes, updates that have happened on site during the day, taking photos and so on, and have that all pushed directly back automatically into the dashboard that everybody can consume. It's immensely important that remote worker interface is a big part of what we do. So yeah, really good point. So so I think that these business intelligent and data related types of dashboards that we've been talking about so far they're great. They're fantastic things, right? And they're actually readily available to you right out of the box in a lot of cases, right? You just open it, run it, and there it is. They've got a bunch preloaded, and you can use them as examples to make your own. But I think that the one area, right, where I think that this industry is still struggling, it's with the concept of file control. And what I mean is that there aren't a lot of offerings available for simplifying the finding and opening of specific construction-related documents. There seems to be almost a disconnect between the idea of these intelligent dashboards and file management. They don't seem to have clicked together yet. We've all become really comfortable over the years, right, with the idea that, hey, we just need to spend a few minutes browsing to or searching for any specific drawing or contract or file that we might need. And it really, for most of us, it's just become one of those, that's just the way it is type of items, right? We never think to question that. And I think that's a mistake. There's a lot of potential in developing, we'll call it project-specific dashboards that can provide a simple visual interface for your clients and your design build partners and the owners that will just let them point and click on a dashboard type of document, and that will link them to the documents they need, right? And here's the great thing, right? The great thing I want to talk about is that it doesn't require expensive software or coding knowledge to build these dashboards for file management control. So we're going to talk about that, right? But first, we're going to take a quick break to hear from today's sponsor. And when we come back, I promise, I'm going to get into how easily and how cost-effectively you can build your own project-specific dashboard. So we'll be back in just a minute with more of the Cattle Call Podcast. All right, Rocco. So we are sponsoring ourselves yet again today. What is it we want to talk about?
We're going to talk about me today, Jim.
No one wants to talk about you. Not even you.
Oh, fine. Let's talk about Zentek Tech Blocks.
Awesome. I like Zentek Tech Blocks. Zentek Tech Blocks are prepaid support hours that let you call on Zentek's experienced technical staff to address all your support questions, problems, help you with workflows and standards, really anything you need on the technology side. We're here to provide the support you need so that your most talented people aren't being dragged into helping everybody else in your company instead of working on the billable jobs that you need them focused on. All right. So Zentek tech blocks are available in multiple sizes. We sell them in 5-hour, 10-hour, 20-hour, and 40-hour prepaid support blocks. And if you're interested and you need that sort of help, Rocco, how do they reach out to us?
Yeah, hit up our website, zentechconsultants.net. Give us a ring, 866-824-4459, or even drop us an email, sales@zentechconsultants.net.
All right. Zentek tech blocks, the vital support that your people need exactly at the moment that they need it. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Cattle Call Podcast. And we're talking today about the idea of dashboards in the construction world. And I promised you guys that we were going to discuss how you can create file control dashboards for your jobs without a whole ton of expense. All right, so Rocco, before I get into the process discussion, let me ask you this. How important is easy file access to our clients, right? I mean, do they ask a lot about ways to reduce file access time and hunting for files on their jobs? Or am I just imagining this as a need?
No, it definitely comes up. I think more particularly now, one with people being out in the field and wanting to access data more easily through their mobile phones, and then two, with the pandemic that we've been going through, right, being able to easily access those files is hugely important. I mean, we all know, we've seen it, right? There, you could have a mess of files even on your own computer. So it's
no one wants to look at my desktop and see the mess that is.
No.
So, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think that visual interface is kind of the key to what I want to talk about here. And like you said, I think you make a great point. It's particularly important for people who are dealing with smaller devices, right? Cell phones and tablets. They don't have the full-blown computer to be able to access and browse and spend time when they're remote. And you want to try and provide them with a simplified graphic interface, all right? So that's what I want to talk about here. So let's start with the software that you're going to need to do this, okay? So all you're going to need is the Bluebeam software that you likely already own. Most construction companies out there already have it. And that's it. Nothing else. All right? Everything else I'm going to suggest here can be done with that one simple program. Look, one of the big benefits of working with Bluebeam Review is that it's got advanced hyperlinking capabilities, right? It means you can connect any region or section or detail on your plans or your specs, right, so that it activates, right, a process of your choosing when anybody clicks in that area. In other words, right, I can start with a master PDF for my job. And let's say, on that we're going to put a bunch of colored and labeled rectangles that people can click on to do things like open the spec with the red button and pull up the contracts with the blue button, link to the sitemap on Google, or having, a button for emailing the owner, right? Even open, specific plan sets, or individual plans like your architectural or your structural or your civil drawings. In effect, a simple PDF-based dashboard for your job, okay? So, beyond that, we can begin nesting those hyperlinks within each successive file, meaning that as I open, one file, I can have further links in that file. So I can link all the architectural callouts to their specific details. All right, I can connect to a specific location within a facility, like the shop floor if you're doing manufacturing and development, and I can connect to a larger plan, right? When I click on the shop floor, that opens up the details of the shop floor that's showing you all the power panels, all the equipment, right? And then I can link each and every piece of equipment in that room to even more information, right? Building this cascading digital visual control center. And Rocco, this is something I know you and I have talked about this internally for a while now. It's something that just fascinates us with the capabilities. Do you see folks out there trying to set up interactive structures like this on their own, or is it something that you think they need a consultant like us to kind of help them with?
Well, look, Jim, you're not the only one on the planet who can do this, but
I beg your pardon. I mean, I do it best.
Yeah, exactly. You do it the best, of course, but The reality is I mean, this what you're talking about with Bluebeam. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are power users in Bluebeam that can certainly do the work, but it all depends on
Absolutely.
your skill level, right? I mean, that's the bottom line, and we can help you. That's we're a Bluebeam partner. We've been doing this for a long time, and so we can help. But you we could teach you how to do it too, or we could develop it for you, whatever you need at whatever level. We're happy to work with our customers.
So basically, what I got out of that is Rocco saying the same thing he says in every staff meeting. We don't need Jim. It's it is. No, but you're right. It is anybody who's good at this, right? Anybody who's really comfortable, you can do this on your own. You don't need a consultant. We hope you do, because I like to pay mortgages and pay for my beers on Friday nights. But if not, you can do it on your own. So what I want to do here for a minute, let's just kind of revisit, my imaginary shop floor dashboard that I talked about a couple minutes ago. And look, I know that this is a podcast and it's an audio medium, and this whole thing would probably play better, on a vlog, a visual setup. But just bear with me. Try to imagine this for a moment, right? Think about being able to click on a piece of equipment, right? That's on your shop floor, and have that open to a list of installation information for that piece of equipment, safety and service records for that piece of equipment, a history of all your maintenance requests, right? And just about any other kind of facility control data that you can imagine. What if you were able to click on it and actually submit maintenance tickets, right? Or request new parts from your supplier right from this dashboard, right? Now, I know you may be thinking that you're in the construction world, right? We build them and we leave them. That's what we do. Why would you care about that facility management side? Well, the reality is that, facility management controls are becoming a huge selling point in what is a very competitive construction market at the moment. If you can offer that value add of a long-term facility control tool that includes, your final as-built documents, easy-to-use links, etc., right, to all of the information that your client, the guy who's paying you, is going to need to run their building for the next 20 years. That is a major plus to them, and it is something that you can definitely add some solid profit margin on, right? It's a way to bump up those contracts. So, you and I, Rocco, we met working at another company, right? That's where you and I met, where they actually had a facility management group. How did the growth of that section of the company or of that business we worked for compare to the growth of our side, right, which was CAD and construction services? Is there a demand for this data by owners, and are they willing to pay for it?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's an area that continues to grow even today. Through this whole period that we've been going through. It's I mean, there's facilities and warehouses all over the place that continue to be put up every day. So it's huge, and it continues to do well.
Yeah. Yeah, the facility management group over in that other company, they grew. I think when I looked at the numbers one day, it was something like at almost 3 times the rate of the CAD and construction guys. It's immense, right? And it's just a nice value add that you can tie into your project. So, I think this concept of project dashboards that are being developed using nothing but PDFs is incredibly powerful, and I think it's limited only by your imagination. And because it's a PDF, it's just a basic tool that everybody can access, no matter what software they have. All right, it can be accessed on phones and tablets and anywhere in the world. Think of it like this, right? Think about your executive staff, right? And think of giving them a single PDF that links them to all of your projects, right? And they can drill down into the specifics of the construction documents, bids, etc., by visually clicking on formatted buttons or on regions of the plans themselves, right? Click and open up this room, click and open up that hallway, right? Think of the time that you save by eliminating all the browsing and the searching for files and opening and closing the wrong files, and then calling and bothering Rocco, asking him which file am I supposed to be working in, right? Or emailing their PMs just to get links to files that they just couldn't find, right? And this is the kind of stuff we all deal with every single day. So here's a reality check for you guys. The government, right? The U.S. government estimates that the American worker spends 30% or more every single workday finding files, right? Think about that. 30% of your entire annual budget is spent on people just looking for things, right? Do that math.
I spent 30% of my time just looking for you, Jim.
Shh. That's because I'm good at hiding, man. I got skills. A lot of years in the military taught me how to hide. I can dodge work like nobody's business. I'm a ghost. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge money, right? I mean, it's, you do the math in your own company, right? And you do that, and the idea of putting in some time up in the front to build these project dashboards like this, it really starts to sound like a really solid investment. Right.
Now we're talking about Bluebeam here. Does it matter the version of Bluebeam that folks have?
No, you can do it with any of the three versions, right? Standard, CAD, or Extreme. But honestly, if you're looking to do like really, integrated forms and buttons and things, having the Extreme does make this a little bit easier. It's not necessary. You can do it with the base level software, right? It just you do get some extra really nice batch functionality and automated tools that make this run a lot faster in the Extreme version. Good question. So yeah, I think that kind of caps up what I wanted to talk about here in terms of building these PDF-based dashboards. And of course, if you guys all need some help on how to do it, well, Zentech's always here. Rocco and I are always available. All right? But I think with that, we can wrap the conversation there. Anything else you want to throw in there, Rocco?
Nope.
No, Mr. Talkative, striking again. All right?
Yeah.
Write up a nice intro for the next class, would you? Next class.
Nope.
Next broadcast. Nope. Yup. You think with a name like Rocco, you wouldn't sound like you was from Texas. Nope. Yep. All right. I'm going to get out of here before I get in trouble, folks. And we will catch you next time on the Cattle Call Podcast. All right, everybody. Today's Cattle Call was brought to you courtesy of Zentech Consultants. That's Rocco and I. Zentech Consultants works with design and manufacturing firms to help our clients purchase and implement the software that they need in these complex industries. We provide a single point of contact for clients to buy, develop, and learn the most vital software systems for your specific needs. Zentech strives to be your trusted technology partner from your initial needs all the way through long-term support and training for your entire staff. So Rocco, why don't you tell them how to reach out to Zentech?
All right, yeah, you can reach out to us through zentechconsultants.net. You can email us at sales@zentechconsultants.net, or you can even call us, 866-824-4459.
Excellent. We look forward to hearing from you all.